We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this our sacred vow.
Stonehenge has been promoted as an astronomical observatory. If we go back to people like Hawkins and Alexander Thom, and we discover that actually none of this quite works out as it should. And it's interesting to me that in the last 10-15 years, the textbooks on Stonehenge, the archaeologists themselves, are mentioning this sort of thing less and less, because increasingly they're discovering that actually none of these alignments are quite as right as they should be. Now, one of the great myths, again, of Stonehenge is the bluestone transport myth. Again, this is solidly built into all the literature we read about Stonehenge, that they set in motion a series of transport expeditions, and some people think that they were carried around the coast. Various routes have been suggested. Now, this is wonderful stuff, except that there's never been any evidence in favour of it. There's not a single scrap of evidence that any of this actually happened. The early geologists who had actually examined South Wales had all come to the view that South Wales had been glaciated by a very big glacier that had actually come in from the sea, come in from the Irish Sea. and it actually flowed across Pembrokeshire, across the South Wales coastlands, up the Bristol Channel, and onto the shore of Bristol and the Somerset Levels, the coast of Somerset. I've been wondering a lot as to where these stories, why is it so important that people believe these sort of things about Stonehenge? And if we go back right to the very earliest representations of Stonehenge, with this wonderful Welsh wizard called Merlin, the story was put about by Geoffrey of Monmouth in the 1100s. That Stonehenge was built by this magician called Merlin, who transported the stones miraculously from Ireland, from a mountain called Killarhouse in Ireland, and transported them to Stonehenge. And it's interesting that there was a very powerful political motive in the writing of this story. It was a novel, but what Geoffrey of Monmouth was trying to do was to portray or demonstrate the fact that that after the Norman takeover, the Norman colonization of England, that in fact wisdom resided in the East, in Ireland, and that there was this valuable link with Ireland. So he suggested that the stones had come all the way from Ireland.